Shastra Sar, can you bring me a Bhagavad Gita, please? Welcome everyone to ISKCON of Silicon Valley. I'd like to welcome Kanai Thakur Prabhu of the he's a traveling preacher stationed in Pune. Maybe all of you know him. But I just got a chance to sit and talk with him and was touched and deeply impressed. Thank you very much for coming here, and please make it your home away from home. Hare Krishna. And he also invited all of us to come to Pune so we can charter a flight, maybe. This is ISKCON of Silicon Valley, and it's one of many temples, communities that we have around the world, founded by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And in the world today, people have to work as usual, and they have to somehow or other survive and eat and interact with other people. And in general, just living in the world and surviving leaves something wanting in the heart, that people don't feel completely satisfied. Because, as was explained to sages who gathered at Naimisharanya thousands of years ago, whose main concern was how to do good for all the people of the world. And they wanted to know what's the best thing you could do for them. He said that people have to know how to be engaged in divine service, service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And it should be afforded to them in such a way that there's no interruption. And they should also be tuned in that service so that they're not asking for anything in return. In such service, Sutta Goswami, who addressed the sages, said one feels completely satisfied. And those who read the Bhagavad Gita and hear about it from those who have realized the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita can understand that unless one comes to this standard, then there'll always be something lacking in one's life. One will feel dissatisfied, or even more than dissatisfied. We may inadvertently cause ourselves more misery. For instance, in the Gita, Krishna says, Yehi samsparshaja bhoga dukkha yonai evate adyantavanta konteya nateshu ramate buddha. Which means that if one keeps as one's object of affection or attention even, those things that have a beginning and an end, then one would be left dissatisfied. But he says even more than that, that it'll be the cause of misery. And he gives a metaphor that the kind of attention we give to temporary situations and relationships, it's almost like there's a pregnancy, and from that pregnancy comes dukkha or unhappiness. Or you could say a child like Vena, who came out of the womb ready to disturb everybody in the world. And it's out of Krishna's affection for all the people of the world. After all, in a famous prayer about Krishna, Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate, says that Krishna is an ocean of compassion and mercy for the people of the world. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita to give guidance so that we don't work in such a way that we paint ourselves into a corner and feel trapped, or that we end up with misery in our lives rather than which is not just satisfaction, but love. And the Krishna consciousness movement is an extension of Krishna's teachings in the Bhagavad Gita, but made very practical, because oftentimes philosophical points become so abstracted in our lives that they may sound interesting, but we may not find an immediate application in our own lives. One might think, well, that's good for others. However, how might I apply this in my life? After all, I'm overwhelmed. And it seems as if I'm nearly powerless to take up any more spiritual practice, because I have so many other things vying for my attention, and I'm enveloped practically by my life. So how would I do this? And that's where Krishna's compassion extends even further. Krishna, as he mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, comes regularly to teach how to uplift oneself in the world. And he has made various appearances in the world on schedule. And one of those appearances happens at the end of Dwapara Yuga, or the very beginning of Kali Yuga. Of course, Krishna was there, and then into Kali Yuga by some thousands of years. Krishna comes again as his own devotee. And this is to teach how to practice the Bhagavad Gita. In the Gita, Krishna gave many instructions, but he then thought, let me give a personal example of how to follow those. So Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and an example that Prabhupada gives in describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a teacher might take a child's hand to show the first letters and be guiding the child's hand and saying, Chachachgaga, Papa Mama, and so forth, and showing how to write. And then one shouldn't misunderstand that the teacher's learning to write, but rather the teacher's learning is showing the child how to write. So in that way, Krishna extends himself as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that he's Krishna, but he's different color. And he has a mission to teach people the tenets that they could follow in this age, even while overwhelmed by the circumstances of their lives. And then there are teachers that came after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who expanded what he had taught when he came. There's notably Rupa Goswami. He's written a book called the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is an encyclopedic presentation of all the tenets of Bhakti Yoga. And then he gave a primer, a very short book called Upadeshamrita, which literally means the nectar of instruction. And from that, in 11 verses, one can understand the basics of how to practice Bhakti Yoga. There are other books, of course, and Sanatana Goswami is another notable disciple of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also wrote books enumerating the ways that one could practice bhakti in one's life. In every subsequent age, from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his main disciples, there have been teachers who have carried down the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And very fortunately, in the modern age, the founder of this movement came from a spiritual family, or I should say, a family of a group of acharyas, perhaps beginning with Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who envisioned a way that people all over the world could take advantage of the teachings of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita via the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just as the sages at Naimisharanya were eager for a panacea that could be applied, these acharyas are markedly interested in seeing that everybody in the world could take advantage of the opportunity afforded by Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they codified things, plus they created vision mission statements, so that their idea was, let everybody take advantage of this. It's not sectarian. This is the mood of the Srimad Bhagavatam as well. Kiratahunandra pulinda pulkasha abhirashumva yavana kasadaya yeneja papa yarapashraya shaya shudyanti tasmai pravishnave namah. That whatever far-flung place one is from, or whatever misinformation one's received, or however misaligned one may be, one can come back into alignment and be perfectly informed by the representatives of Krishna in this world. And one can then attain perfection in life. The Srimad Bhagavatam also talks about how one may have access to the highest aspects of spiritual practice. Sutta Goswami tells the sages, Bejare muniyo tagre bhagavan tamadhoksajam satvam bishudham shemaya kalpante ye nutanya. And that is that there have been examples of those who have worshipped the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who's beyond the three modes of material nature. And those who emulate such sages, following the tenets that they've set out, will be eligible for the same result that the sages themselves got. It's also mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Swayam Bhujak Kila Satvadamni Samadhi Navesh Chetasaike Twatpada Potena Mahatkritena, that the demigods praying to Krishna within the womb of Devaki had opined that Krishna is the source of everything, and one should fix one's mind on Krishna. And that the way to do that, practically, is to follow those who have done it before, successfully. And those who do it are compassionate enough to leave behind a process so that other people can take up the process of bhakti yoga, devotional service. And then there's an emphatic statement that those instructions themselves are like a boat that can carry one across the material ocean. And then the expression that the boat itself is so effective that even if one approaches the boat, and in the metaphor it's the instructions and the method given by the teachers who have passed it down, then the ocean itself shrinks to the size of the water contained within a calf's hoofprint. So in this way, there's been a chain coming down from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu of teachers who have worked vigorously to either embody the teachings or to market them to the world, creating vision mission, thinking how could this be made available to people around the world. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was one such teacher I already mentioned, who thought that this will be a fitting process for people in every part of the world. They could participate in this because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives access to everyone. It's his specific mood. And he gives a method that's very simple. It's one-pointed. The chanting of Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra. And after Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then, there's this conclave of others, including his son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And then we have our founder Acharya, who is the beneficiary of the teachings of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And of course, there are other luminaries. Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was the guru of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And in this way, there's this spiritually enlivening electrical charge that comes down through the teachings, which are very practical, and which are given shape by those who meditate on how to make them available to people all over the world. And then the founder of ISKCON had ruminated on how to make them available, them meaning the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, available to people around the world. And he thought in terms of America to begin with, because America, since after World War II, had become prominent in the world in many ways, economically, manufacturing and so forth. Culturally, it was a big export, American culture, around the world. So he thought of starting there and preaching in English, which is also the suggestion and the impetus of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was able to do it in India. So Prabhupada, practically everyone knows the story, came to America alone and then made it available to the people of starting with New York City, and then it spread all over the world. So we're the beneficiaries of that. And what we get in the Krishna consciousness movement is not only a process, but also the philosophical underpinnings, foundation, that give it credence. In other words, you can have a process, but it should be fortified with knowledge. Tachradhana muna yogyana vairagya yuktaya pashyantya atmani chatmanam bhakti shuja grihitaya. Which means that you should be fortified in your spiritual practice. You should have knowledge. You should also have a sense of encouragement which isn't hindered by attachments to the material world. And all this is available through the practice of devotional service. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had conceived of people who live normal lives, whatever that means, who have taken up the process of devotional service in their own homes, and then inviting other people into their homes to teach them the same tenets so that they can do it in their home. And that's where the idea of Tupperware came from. Or what's the other big one? Multi-pure. Who's got a multi? No, the really big ones, even in India too. Multi-level marketing. Yeah, Amway. That's where Amway got their idea from. Each one teach one, start the business in your home, get the product, put it in your garage, bring your friends over. I don't know if Tupperware, does that predate anybody, or do you still have some lying around? Do they still sell that? Oh, okay. Oh, glories to Tupperware. That's one product you definitely can't do without. And that was a revolutionary way of marketing, is to invite people over to your house and then show them how it works. And that's where they got the idea. from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And the same thing is applicable because it's nice to have people over to your house. And when people come over to your house, you bring out your better forks and spoons and stuff that's not broken. And you do clean up a little bit and maybe put some flowers. And then you invite people to come and have something to eat. If you don't, they won't come back. But it's normal. That's normal. It's ordinary. People, they want to get together and talk, and they want to have something to eat. So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu envisioned, that people would come over to people's houses, and they would get an opportunity to hear Bhagavad Gita and also chant Hare Krishna mantra together, read a little Gita, chant a little bit, and then eat. And there's great power in the eating because it's not ordinary food. It's one of the great secrets of the Krishna consciousness movement is prasadam. When you give people prasadam, they get happy and then they wonder when you're going to have the next program. My wife and I had a program at our house for 16 years. Some of you came. And thank you. And one night, we had some friends from the Mormon church come over. Because a couple days before, I was walking in the neighborhood, in our neighborhood, and I was chanting japa with my bead bag. People wonder what's on your hand. And they're elders. You know what elders are? They're members of the LDS church, Latter-day Saints. They're Christian church. It's slightly different from, well, they're all slightly different. In any case, they came over, they're preachers, young preachers. They send out their people for a couple of years to fend for themselves. After they teach them whatever language they're going to need, they're one of the best language teaching organizations in the world, and they send out their people to go to different countries and just live there. You look like you want to go. It's a good idea. And they just go door to door and they meet people and they talk about their philosophy. So when they saw me chanting, they asked me what I was doing, and I told them what I was doing. And then I said, well, why don't you guys come over? We're having a program on Friday night. And so, of course, they did, because when you're out by yourself and you're young and you get nowhere better to go, if somebody invites you, you go. So they came over, and we had a kirtan. And then when the kirtan stopped, the devotees instinctively fell to the floor and offered obeisances. And I was reciting the Prema Dhvani, so I had the vantage point of seeing that they were amazed, and they wondered what happened. And one of them was older, and during the kirtan, the younger one was starting to dance a little bit, and the other one kept going like, cut it out. The older one had more of a sense of mission. So everyone sat down so we could serve them prasadam. Your cool had made macaroni and cheese, and salad and cheesecake, and I can't remember what else. But it was attractive. So while we were starting to serve out, and our guests didn't know what was coming, they just knew everyone sat down, so they sat down, and the older one started taking out his literature because he felt like, what am I doing here? I better say something or preach. And then an accommodating devotee came over just in the course of serving and put a plate in front of him. And then I saw him just close his thing and put it. And at that moment I thought, this is a an accommodating program. It accommodates the human spirit. That people want to have something nice to eat together, and they want to sing. And they want to discuss how their lives are going. So we can accommodate that here in the Bay Area. It's an area, the Bay Area, that is rife, RFE, with very intelligent people, with very good-hearted people, liberal, open-hearted people. But they're not getting an opportunity to fulfill their heart's desire because they don't have a spiritual practice that touches that part of their soul where they'll feel satisfied. The formula given by the sages in Naimisharanya, the unmotivated, uninterrupted service. That seems practically out of reach to most people, or even the concept is not available. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ingenious system, carried down through the generations, has arrived here in the Bay Area. And we're just getting started, but we've built a base of those who live strategically all around the Bay Area, from Santa Rosa all the way to Santa Cruz. Yay, Santa Cruz. Give a shout out for your temple or preaching center. Yeah, go ahead. That only means, where do you live? Because every house is a temple. And now we're on the threshold of offering people in the greater Bay Area, from Santa Rosa to Santa Cruz, and perhaps even further north, we have. Where do we have? Where? Oh, we have Davis. That's north. I'm talking south. Jamuna. Where do they live? Yeah, down in Monterey. And where else? Carmel Valley and so forth. Pacific Grove. So all of these are areas in which we can act Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's process of inviting people over and offering them a chance to hear and discuss Bhagavad Gita, to try the chanting of Hare Krishna, and then having prasadam together. That's all that's necessary. When people have a chance to come to your home, whoever you may be, and I am talking to everybody, it doesn't matter where you live, even if it's a simple place, just keep it clean and invite some people over and have a kirtan and give them prasadam and read a little Bhagavad Gita. Then your house becomes one of the places where people will cultivate in their heart the desire to have their own spiritual practice. In fact, it'll begin there in your home. And from this, there'll be an encroachment of the system of devotional service as envisioned by the great teachers and by Krishna himself through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that will envelop the entire Bay Area, which will become a beacon for people all over the world. So here you can get the resources to set up your home in such a way that you can invite other people in. How many people here live in suburban area? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it? I don't believe you. You all live in the suburbs. Give me a break. Okay. See, the suburbs are a sad place. It's really sad. It's very sad. I feel it every day because people go in their houses and I feel very sorry. Because inside there's television. They're locked in with their television. Door closes, and all they have is their television. They're stuck inside there. It's like the worst kind of prison. If you're going to go to prison, do it in Jagannath Puri. As I have a friend, godbrother, who got put in jail in Jagannath Puri. I'm not going to go into the details, so don't start smiling at me. Except to say that in the Jagannath Puri jail, it's mandatory that you chant bhajans 2 hours a day. They come in and they got a bhajaneer and they say, okay, everybody chant. But in general, prisons are very sterile places. The worst of it is people don't know that there's something better, and they don't know that they're locked into their habits. From a jail cell, one may look out and see the free light of the sun and appreciate the freedom available in the universe. But then again, they're still behind bars. And those are conditioned to the idea that this material world is all we get. They may even, at some point through philosophy or through their own revelation, see their own Atma and see that, oh, I'm a soul, I'm not this body. But because of the imprisonment caused by the material desires that are like bars that hold them back, they can't do anything about it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is known to be the most magnanimous form of Krishna who's come to open those jail cells, let people out. And if we go door to door and we meet people where they live, they may have a television inside. And the door may close behind us. But if a Bhagavad Gita goes in and then the door closes behind us, then they're stuck inside there with the Bhagavad Gita. And that's where the possibilities begin. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, Maya Mugdha Jivera Nahi Swata Krishna Gyan, Jivera Kripaya Koila Krishna Veda Puran. The other most merciful form of Krishna is Srila Veda Vyas, Srila Veda Dvaipana Vyas Dev, who conceived also the continuance of the teachings of the sages at Naimisharanya, but how would that be affected? How would it be carried out? Through the abstraction of speech that took place there. Language is just an abstraction of speech. You take the speech, there's an agreement about how to phoneticize what you're saying, and you write it down. And it can be reconstituted. Humans can do that. They can reconstitute it just by reading. So what happens is when the literature goes in one's home, then the door closes. It's inevitable that some person who lives there at some time is going to open it, and teachings will be reconstituted. So that's a aspect of the modern Krishna consciousness movement, where we have high-speed printing, where we can affect change in society. A very well-meaning and normally extremely affable, and still affable, but person who is disturbed by geopolitical considerations at the present time had written me and said, why don't you say something about what's going on in the world? I'm not an expert about what's going on in the world because I don't tune in that much. I mean, I know what's going on, but I don't tune in. And I said that the distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is the best way to speak out. Such songs of protest, or there have been songs of protest ever since I was a kid. I mean, I have a lyric coming into my mind right now that says, speak out against the madness, and that was from the 1960s. People have been feeling indignation about the ways of the world, the dichotomy caused by politics and aberrant social systems that don't account for all the people, only the top percentile and so forth. It's been going on for a long time. And there is no solution for that by singing songs, except for Hare Krishna, except for educating people in general and giving them an opportunity to take the spiritual practice. And so the Krishna consciousness movement is also particularly focused on doing welfare work by distributing mass quantities of literatures, which give each individual an opportunity to take up the practice of Krishna consciousness. There have been such Reformation movements in history, throughout the history of Christianity. There have been those who have felt enough's enough, too much constraint. Let's give empowerment to people all over the world to read the Bible as an example so that they can take up the practice themselves. And that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sense of reformation too. Everyone should be deputized and given an opportunity to do good for others, even those who only have an inkling of how to do it. If they can take the process and represent it and give it to others, they'll be successful. So we invite everybody. Of course, it looks like everyone here has already been invited. But anyone who would like divine service, or anybody who'd like to learn the process of Krishna consciousness in an elementary way or the fine details of it, can find that within the organization, the community that we've created here. We have great learned personalities here who hold forth and teach. We have unlimited literatures which people can take advantage of. And we also have programs that anyone starting from age 0 up to, I don't know what our oldest member of our community is, but up to maybe 85. How old Shamasundar? 83. From 0 to 83 can take part in our community programs. And I feel that we are at an inflection point here in our endeavors to spread Krishna consciousness around the Bay Area. And this is a very exciting time. Find a service to assist in expanding it around the Bay Area and make history. Now's a good time. And yes, of course, everyone has some anxiety. You can count on that. There's going to be problems you have to worry about when you wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning and you think, why did that guy say that to me? Why aren't they paying me enough? Why are they laying people off? Who are these people anyway? That's just the zeitgeist of the material world, especially in Kali Yuga. And if you know that that's coming, and then you bypass it, you do the best you can to do what you can within it, but you bypass it by taking full advantage of the opportunity to spread the Krishna consciousness movement, you won't be touched by it. You'll remain transcendental. Thank you for listening so attentively. And so thank you and congratulations to everyone here for all that you're doing, for representing the Krishna consciousness movement, representing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and experiment with expanding your service by offering wherever you live, your homestead, as a place where people can come learn Krishna consciousness. Every house can be a temple. You can also expand through social media. You can also expand by going out and meeting people from door to door. You do that. I've seen you. So with that comes great joy. The members of Lord Chaitanya's personal party were quite enthusiastic about it. In fact, the way it's described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, metaphorically, is they broke open the storehouse. Did you ever break into anything when you were a kid? All right, I won't ask you. It's kind of fun, anyway. Uh, nothing too criminal, but a couple snow cones. Breaking and entering, smashing open a lock, and then taking the contents out, and then giving it away as a kind of Robin Hood type thing. Take it and give it to the masses of people who need it. And this is a mood that is uplifting. It's not boring. The idea of making a faster chip, although it's hard work, it's not that exciting because it hasn't made a difference in the quality of our life or the feeling that we're feeling, the feeling of satisfaction in our hearts. The fact that compared to not having a cell phone to now having a cell phone, it hasn't increased the sense of satisfaction in my heart. That's over a span of whenever they came out, 30, 40 years ago. And I remember somebody saying, "You sure you want to carry one of those things around with you?" But it does make a difference when people come in contact with the spiritual sound vibration. So we can emulate Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates by this enthusiastic distribution of Krishna consciousness. And it mentions also that not only to distribute it, but they tasted its contents. So it's maybe with one hand you distribute, the other one you can be tasting it. And that's the mood of the Krishna consciousness movement. And now we'll experiment with the chanting of Hare Krishna, which is the main export of the Krishna consciousness movement. You can take it anywhere. And this is a perfect opportunity because we have a chorus available. And the way it's traditionally done is one person sing and everybody else responded. I volunteered to sing. Would you like to participate? Yes. Okay. Now we're being asked to become vegetarian. Okay, everyone move up, please. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarna Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Go Premanande, Sharinam Sankirtan Ki, Sharinam Mantra Ki, Sharinam Prabhu Ki, Go Premanande. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Can you remember the first time that you heard the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra? Yeah? Where were you? What happened to you? You ended up in the front row.
It was in 2007, and the first time I heard the Hare Krishna Mahamantra was when Srila Prabhupada was playing, and it was accompanied by harmonium and the drums. And I was just thinking that how these simple instruments were sounding so beautiful, and I was completely taken over by the mantra.
Where were you?
I was at my home.
At home?
Yeah.
And so how did the vibration come into your home?
I was, thanks to Raseshwari Mataji, who had planted.
Way to go. Again, Rajeshwari.
Yeah, so she had kept Bhagavad Gita in the grocery store where I live. And I was there signing the grocery bill, and from my peripheral vision, I saw Bhagavad Gita there. So I brought it home. I didn't even know anything about Prabhupada or that you have to read Bhagavad Gita as it is. But that's the Bhagavad Gita that came to my home. And within the first 1 week, I finished reading it, and I gave up all the things like what Prabhupada wants us to give up. And then there was a hunger to know more, and I started surfing the net. And that's where I came across recordings of Srila Prabhupada playing.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
Wow. And you left that Bhagavad Gita there too.
Yes.
Why'd you do that?
Because you were guiding us in the home programs and whatever I was attending. And Prabhupada also writes again and again to give my books. That is the best act of service we can do in Kali Yuga. So I was very desperate. I wanted to become a book distributor. I had you as an example, and in our temple we were having this drive of devotees trying to distribute books. And I remember I was actually heading to Fremont to try distributing books with Malini. And we were placing books in stores, in those book boxes that we were trying to set up all over the Bay Area. And I wanted to go and
Smart box.
the smart box.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk to all the Indian grocery stores in my area. And since Foster City was on the way, I said, let me stop by at this store. And I had this Bhagavad Gita, and I wanted to talk to the manager. Manager said, the store person said, the manager's not here. I had talked to him earlier on the phone, and he said, come and see me, but he was not there. So I said, I'm going to leave you this Bhagavad Gita. If you can give it to him, I'll come back later when he's there. And when I came back, that book was gone. So he had sold it to her.
Wow. Amazing. First time hearing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. My first time hearing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra was within this temple, 2015 September Janmashtami. So I just came to US in 2015, and the first festival was Janmashtami after we arrived. My husband, he said ISKCON is a place and they do Janmashtami very grandly. So I came here. I saw you and many devotees here doing the Hare Krishna mantra. I was first surprised because I never knew that Hare Krishna can be danced. So I was like, it was taken, I'm from India, so I'm kind of known these festivals. But the first time I experienced that, it is so blissful. Like you dance to your souls. Like everybody was in a very different mood. I couldn't understand what the ecstasy they were in, but it was like totally, I took the khichdi, I ate it. I didn't do fasting that Janmashtami, but that made me come back to the temple, and that prasadam actually made me to be a full-time here in ISKCON.
First time hearing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
The first time I heard it was at Sukeshwari Mataji's house.
Where's Sukeshwari?
I was maybe 4 or 5, very young. And the first thing that caught my attention was her deities. She had Gaurnitai, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra at that time. And I didn't know who they were, but they were very mesmerizing. And she invited me to come in and to change their outfits and massage them before bed. And so I didn't know what I was doing, but it was fun. And I remember as I was doing that, I heard her singing the tune in the background, and that tune is still stuck in my head.
Oh. Subhadra. You're on mute. She can't get off mute. Can you unmute her, please? There you go.
It was My Sweet Lord, George Harrison singing.
Where were you?
Just at my house, probably my brother was playing it on the record player.
Any effect?
Actually, we were Catholic, and I was worried that it was sacrilegious to listen to. Also, that there was that other song, Jai Krishna, and my friend's sister was playing that once, and I said, "Oh, I can't hear that," and I had to leave her because I thought it was against my religion.
So what happened to you?
I just got curious because the devotees moved into the beach town. They did live downtown, but then they got a temple in the beach town, Pacific Beach. It's still there. And I was super curious why people would shave their head and wear robes. So I told my friends, dare me to go down there. And so they said, I dare you. So I went down and everything made sense.
Thanks, Subhadra. Two more. Dhanavari. Okay, you're over here. Send a microphone back to Dhanavari, and then who's here? Okay. Give Dhanavari a mic, and then we'll come back to you, Sakala Subha. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Guru
Krishna.
Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada. I heard the Mahamantra in Hillsborough, North Carolina, when I came from India around 86 or 87, 1986 or somewhere in that timeline. And then I told my dad that I heard this Mahamantra, and he said, I've heard in India, but not exactly. I never heard dancing or chanting or devotees like doing all this peaceful, they were chanting peacefully. And then I told my dad, and he said, yeah, my dad used to chant this mantra too. So I'm talking about like from there to 200 years back. So that's where I heard it from. It's been so long, but then it really...
Well, what did you think when you heard it?
I was very happy. I'm like, is it like in America? This is like, I came newly from village from India to America, and I was like, really, I cannot believe it. Hare Krishna, Mama, they are chanting, and they are good prasadam dancing and all. And I used to do once a year, like Vishnu Sahasranam there, because it was so far from my house. But anyway, I was very happy, and I couldn't, believe it that it can exist like in America at that time. And I still have that memory, and I still know some of the devotees who is still there in Hillsborough, North Carolina, and it got really attracted me so much. Thank you.
Okay, last one. Where's all the mics? Here it comes.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. The first time I heard was in Orlando. I just moved to Orlando to do masters from India. It was a 2014 Janmashtami. It was such a blissful day when it was very blissful to hear the Mahamantra. And given my personal situation at the time, it was very helpful to me to relieve my stress, and I feel so happy that I chanted 16 rounds for 1 month, but later I dropped. But it was very blissful to hear at that time. Yeah.
The chanting of Hare Krishna comes highly recommended. Etan nirvidyamananam ichatam mukato bayam yoginam nripanirnidham harinam. This is Shukadeva Goswami. And he's speaking in a very universal way about the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, saying that it's the doubtless and fearless way of success for all. And it doesn't matter what category you're in, you'll be successful in chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find very encouraging statements about the chanting of Hare Krishna. And when we find ourselves distracted or overwhelmed with many choices, we can take refuge in chanting Hare Krishna. When we find ourselves afraid, the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Apana samsrutim goram yanama vivashogranan tata sadyo vimucheta yabhibheti swayambhayam. Then say, Krishna. Or as Damodar Vamsidhari says, Oh Jagannath. So there are many ideas about how to reach God. But the most sublime process is by repeating his name. And anyone can increase that and subsequently develop godly qualities just by chanting, because Krishna will be personally present. What's more, one will gain invaluable qualities like a sense of detachment from those things that are untouchable in the world. And also one will get knowledge, the kind of knowledge where one can reclaim one's dignity and integrity in the world by doing the right things. So the Hare Krishna movement is called the Hare Krishna movement because that's the main thing, is to chant Hare Krishna. And if it sounds too simple, there's great emphasis given by our great teachers. Don't worry if it's simple, just apply it. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalavana stevana, stevana steva gatiranyata. That in this present age, there's no other process recommended except for the chanting of the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name. So let's try one more time as a chorus. What do you think? Yes. We're going to bring a sound engineer out here, aren't we? When? We need a date, We're going to do a recording of chanting a bunch of songs, and we'll do it like a chorus, a choir. We're all together. Havi Prabhu is going to arrange for us to have a sound engineer come out here and set up everything to record it for a recording that we can all listen to in our spare time. Ready? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Gaura Premanande, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo. And now we're getting ready for the biggest part of our program tonight. It's a really big show. It's called the Hare Krishna Dance Party. So we got this place specially for the floor. You'll notice that it's a floor, but this is not ordinary wood. It's special wood we had flown in before we bought the place. And it's got a little give to it, so you can jump up and down. Ask Ramani, she was just dancing. And so we're going to clear the pathway for dancing. We'll move the asanas into the container. We're going to roll up this rug. The ladies can be on this side, gentlemen on the other side, and then we'll leave a little aisle down the middle for Prabhupada to see the deities. And feel free to dance to your heart's content. It's Lord Chaitanya's method. You'll feel happy in your heart to dance and sing and raise your arms high in the air and say, Hare Krishna. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please empower everyone in this room, everyone who couldn't get in, those who thought about coming today but couldn't make it. They may have the wherewithal to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, starting with the Bay Area. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer in whole or in part, please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Vanja kalpadrishcha kripa sinabhevacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavibhyo. We'll see you back here for the Artik and the Hare Krishna dance party in 1 minute and 47 seconds. Hare Krishna. Okay, we got to be fast.
Here, come. Excuse me.
After nursing the prayer, they want 10 more minutes to kirtan to go on.
Oh, after Nishing.
After nursing. So that the cooking.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Ram, Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Ganga Mai Jamuna Mai Ki Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Please have a seat. We will have Narsingha Aarti now.
Namaste Narasringhaya. Namaste Narasringhaya. Pahe Nishingha, Hridaye Nishingha. Nara Shingha Mare Sharanam Tapade. Nara Shingha Mare Sharanam Tapade. Avakara Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanubinga Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakham Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranya Kashipu Tanubringa Keshavadrita Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Keshavadeta Narahare Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. We welcome you all to the Sunday Feast Festival here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Thank you for taking your valuable time and joining us today evening on such a nice and warm Sunday. So let's give a big round of applause to everyone who has joined us tonight here. Hare 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 Bo. We'll also like to thank all our online viewers as well. So let's give them a big round of applause. Today's Krishna Katha and discourse on Bhakti Yoga was brought to us by His Grace Vaisesika Prabhu. Let's express our gratitude and thank him for an excellent class. Hare Hare Bol. And also, we'd like to thank him for an ecstatic aarti as well. Hare 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 Bol. We had an extended kirtan today after Narsingha Aarti, and that was brought to us by His Grace Brajaras Bhavana Prabhu. Hari Bol. Anyone who is coming here for the first time? We have some devotees here, there. Thank you for joining us. Right there in the back as well. Thank you. If you have any questions or if we could be of any assistance, please reach out to me. My name is Shri Gopal Das or Hanspriya Mataji or Sachindra Prabhu. You will find him in the reception, in the parking lot where we serve the prasad. So let's chant one Mahamantra for all our newcomers. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have one sponsor for tonight's, we have a couple of sponsors for tonight's feast. We would like to acknowledge Raman Prabhuji. Please come here, Prabhuji. Prabhuji is our regular sponsor. He never misses a chance whenever he gets to sponsor the feast. So he is sponsoring on behalf of his son for his well-being. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sponsoring. And Mataji is also here. Would you like to say a few words? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So my son is going to be senior, and so I wish him all the success. So there is no occasion better than sponsoring here. So we wish him all the best, and please pray for his success. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Here is Hare Krishna Mataji, Mahaprasad and some gift. Hare Krishna. And the next sponsor is Her Grace Ananda Mataji. Please come, Mataji. And Balivardhan Prabhu, please come. Yeah, please come. They are sponsoring on the occasion of their elder son, Brajaras Bhavana's birthday. Haribol, Brajaras Bhavana, please come here. Haribol. He is our, the poster child of ISV. He is very, all the youth. He is an inspiration to all the youth here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. Not only ISKCON of Silicon Valley, but around the US as well. Thank you, Brajaras Bhavana Prabhu, and for your ecstatic aarti, and wish you a very, very happy birthday. And I will pass on, before you, I will pass on to your parents to say a few words. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. We seek all of your blessings for Brajaras Bhavana. As well as we are also sponsoring for Her Grace Nirakula Mataji's birthday. Thank you. It's just a small gratitude to Mataji for all of us, the love and care she has shown us throughout these years, so many years. And without her, I don't know what would we have done in ISV, without her and Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Now, Brajaras Bhavana Prabhu, interview for you. Can I do some interview? Okay. He said yes. Okay. How old are you now?
I'm 21.
Okay, very honest answer. Thank you. So, what do you think, brings you every day or every week to ISV. You've been born in ISV and you're practically raised in ISV. So what is that? Every week after week, you want to come to ISV.
I love the community over here and also the opportunity for service. It brings me back.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Wasn't that too bad, huh? And here is Mahaprasad for you and a small gift. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hari Bol. Now what's coming up? We have Janmashtami, the biggest festival of the year that's coming up on August? Okay, just testing. You all know it. Okay, August 16, it's a Saturday. We will have the festival throughout the day, and we are expecting more than 12,000 devotees here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. And because it's a weekend, we are expecting that devotees will come on Friday as well and on Sunday as well. So it will be an extended Janmashtami here at ISKCON of Silicon Valley. So we look forward to you all to participate in any services that you want to. So please reach out to Hanspriya Mataji. And there are flyers. You can take flyers from His Grace Sukhada Gauranga Prabhu. Take your flyers and distribute to your friends, family, and anywhere you want to. In office, at the stores, or your friends and family. So we have how many flyers? 10,000 plus flyers to distribute. So we need your help to distribute all the flyers in few weeks. It's like 4 weeks from now. Okay? Thank you. Hare Krishna. And also, we have the Snana Yatra for Jagannath, Lord Jagannath at Berkeley. This time it's on July 27th, which is like 4 weeks ahead of the actual Rath Yatra. Usually it's like a couple of weeks before the Rath Yatra, but this time it's on July 27th, and the actual Rath Yatra is on August 24th, Sunday. So both the dates are on Sunday. On 27th, the ceremony, the bathing ceremony will start from 3:15 p.m. and it will go all the way till 8:15. So please, there are some information at the reception booth if you like to get some information. It's on July 27th, the Snana Yatra, the bathing ceremony of Lord Jagannath. Hare Krishna. Now we will have Dhriti. Is she here? Okay. We'll announce the cooks for tonight's feast.
Hare Krishna. Today's feast's cooking was led by Siddhakata Prabhu and Suvarna Gopika Mataji and held by Suraj, Megha, Niharika, Vasuprada Mataji, Nidhi, Anil Prabhu, Preeti Mataji, Saili, Rosine Mataji, Neha Mataji, Bikram Prabhu, Smita Mataji, Mansi, Mitra, Komal Radhe Mataji, Bhagya Shri Mataji, Simran, Meena Mataji, Surbi Govinda Mataji, and the cleaning was done by Aditya Niharika and Sutar Malik Prabhu.
Now we'll go to Prasad Sevya prayers. Who is going to sing from there? Anupaini? Okay.
Sharira Vidya Jodendriya Kaeka Jiva Phile Vishaya Sagore Tarmati Jivati Prabhamai Sudurmati Take Jita Katina Samsare Krishna Badodoyamar Parivare Jiva Jai Swaprasadana Dilobhai Seyanamrita Pao Krishna Premedako Shri Chaitanya Nidai Preme Prasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Sapa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasune Vajayate Sarva Dukhanam Anirasya Pajayate Prasana Chita Soyashu Buddhi Paryavatishtate Tvayopa Bhukta Shaganda Vasalankara Charchita Uchishta Bhujino Dasa Stavamayam Jayemagi Shushkam Paryushitam Vapi Nitam Vadura Deshata Prapti Matrena Bhoktavyam Natrakala Vicharana Nareshaniya Mastatra Nakalaniya Mastata Praptamanam Dhrutam Shishter Bhoktavyam Harira Brivit Bhagavad Shri Mahaprasad Ki. Please come